We are recording. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. This is a great piece I have. Nice one, huh? It's got the little halo. So put that aside. And still the month of May, a little while yet. And we're going to do another cardboard construction thing. This is something that we may have done before, but it's always good to review sometimes. And I'm going to tell you something that happened to me on Memorial Day. My wife and I went for a drive. And we decided to go up north into New Hampshire. And just in our town where we live in Shirley, we're going up the Kimbrough stop sign. This is kind of in the woods a little bit. And I look to the left and there's a fox right in the road, which is, you know, there are plenty of fox around, but it's rare to see them. I've only seen them 3 or 4 times in the 25 years I've lived here because they're very cautious about not being seen. And yet this little one was, I think it was a young one. He's right in the road. He probably eaten something that got ran over or something, a little mouse or whatever. But he just kind of looked at us and didn't think much of it. Another car came by and he ran to the side of the road, get out of the way. And we pulled up real slow, and I've never seen a fox like this. He was just kind of curious. He's looking at us. I was talking to him. You know, it was pretty unusual. When I've seen fox before, boom, they're on their way, you know, hang on. This guy was looking at us, and we drove real slow. He followed the car a little bit and went down the road, and I saw him in the rearview mirror, and he came right after the car. He came following up to the car and went around the side, and it was just really amazing. So anyway, we figured that was kind of one of those things that happens. And then we're up into New Hampshire further, about an hour later, and driving real slow on back roads in the woods, came around a corner, and there was a golden eagle right in the middle of the road, you know, eating something or whatever. And he took off in 3 beats of the wing. And the wingspan had to be 7 feet. It was wider than I can reach. Mammoth bird, right in front of the car. We were going real slow. He wasn't real nervous. So he just took 3 beats and went off to the side. Really amazing. So, you know, everything that happens in life is, you know, you say God or the Holy Spirit or, you know, nature spirits. Or remember we talked about leprechauns and nature spirits, fairy spirits. It's all kind of the same thing. It's all the things that happen. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, these things happen. I've never seen a golden eagle that close. Right, you know, almost right up in front of him. He's just a few feet in front of the car. So anyway, the reason I'm telling you all this, you know, we went online while we're driving. My wife went online and looked up. What does it mean when a fox is, you know, says a fox crosses your path? You could be bad news, but in this case, it was a way to pay attention and really focus on what's going on in your life. And with this pandemic and going, you know, everything's changing. Nothing's the same as it used to be. So that was a sign that the nature spirits are telling us, you know, you got to focus. You got to look at what's going on in your life and really take it into advisement. And with the eagle, it said it was the golden eagle is a sign of doors closing. So in other words, when one door closes, another one opens. So, you know, the door is closing on this school year. That's how I took it. And, you know, it's just a way for nature and God and different things that happen in your life that really stand out to give you ideas, give you, so we read the Bible, we have Bible sayings. So it's a way for us to, this is something that we really took to heart to mean, you know, God's speaking to us, Holy Spirit speaking to us, the nature spirits are speaking to us, and folks fixing my hair there. And so that's what we were getting at with that. It's really, really interesting. I'm glad that that happened. Also, I just want to say, with Psalm number 9 in the Bible, I will praise thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will show forth all my marvelous works, all thy marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in thee. I will sing praise to thy name, O thou most high. Just a nice little thank you for what's going on in our life. Even though it's tough, times are changing, we're trying to take the eagle and the box and God and the Spirit to help us to see things in a different light and go with the play. And here's something else. When I was opening the Bible, I just came across this. This is my great-grandfather, David McGaw. Doesn't he look like me a little bit? Go like this. What do you think? Got the nose, you know? So I didn't know him. I knew his son, my grandfather, but I never met him. He was my great-grandfather. Got some other pictures in here. There he is standing in front of, he's the guy standing in the front there. He was the foreman at the little factory up in Pepperell. See the big conveyor belt up there where my fingers are? So kind of little folklore. Popped out, it just popped out. It was in the Bible here. I forgot I had that. So getting on to something to do about keeping yourself occupied with art. Get this out of the way. So this is something that we've done before, but I thought it'd be nice to do it again. If you have a paper cutter, you can do it quickly, but if you don't, you have to cut strips of paper. This is just some color. I have some colored paper, so I use colored paper. You only have white paper, you can color it yourself. You can paint it, color it with crayons or markers, or use, decorate them. So I did some decorations ahead of time. It's always good to work on the things flat before you assemble them. This is going to be a set of wings. And here is dragon. Dragon's head, dragon's tail. We're going to make the body that expands like an accordion. We've done this before, but I thought it'd be fun to do it again. Watch this. Now, if you have a stapler, you can staple them together. Or if you don't, glue stick works pretty well too. So you use a glue stick or staples, and you just make strips of paper and then you attach them. So you have a 90-degree angle. So again, you take the first two strips and you just put a 90-degree angle, just like corner of a box, just like that. And you staple it. If you do two staples, because it won't twist, it holds nice and steady. Now again, if you don't have a stapler, you just use a glue stick, works pretty well. Then to make the accordion effect, which is one of the bottom, the yellow is on top, right? So demonstrate it. See that? The yellow is what's on top. So you take the blue and you fold the blue over. So now the blue is on top. So you take the yellow and you fold that over. And you just continue that process. Okay, now the blue is on the bottom. Bring that over the top. Now the yellow is on the bottom. Bring that over on the top. Now you have to keep it flat, or on the desktop, or whatever you're working with. I'm doing this in the air so you can see it better. This comes over. Whatever's on the bottom comes over the top. Now don't pick it up and get confused and turn it over and do this, because then it won't open up. So you have to stay with the same process every time. So yeah, I'm getting confused myself. Okay, so don't turn it over. If you do it the right way, keep going back and forth, just keep going. And then if you do it right, you'll have this effect. If that's not very long, so you have to extend that. So when you get to this point, I use glue sticks in the middle part, because when you do a staple in this part and you add strips, the staple might be where you want to fold it, and it gets in the way. So to avoid that, use glue. Then it's much easier to fold it wherever you want to. So I'm going to add on this other piece here, like this. Continue. Now I have to add another piece onto this blue one. So I'm going to put some glue there. And go like that. So now we can just continue. Okay, so which is on the bottom now? the orange. See, the pink is on top. See, orange is on the bottom. So fold it over. Now the pink is on the bottom. Fold that over. Now the orange is on the bottom. You just keep going. Keep going. All the way around. Now you can do as many of these as you want. But for our purposes here, I'm just going to do 2 to show you the next steps. Now I could add more pieces on there. So now it's getting longer. You could do as many as you want. So I mean, last year we did a whole bunch of these. I don't know how many of you remember this. I've got my pictures right here, and oh, they went away, but I know where they are. It's right after we back from Lake Niagara. Here we are. Okay, this is last year at St. Joseph's. See, people are making those. See, they were making chains of them as long as they could. And so watch what happened. Look at the chain. They kept joining them together with staples, mostly with staples, because when you get that many going, see all the strips on the table on the bottom? I have one more picture. Now look at it. We had the 8th graders, which 7th graders last year, but there's John in the front, John Kennedy, and then all the other 7th graders who are now 8th graders. It's a pretty long strip. So since you're stuck at home, you can't get together with your friends and make huge long chains, but you know, can have a lot of fun with that sort of thing. So you can make these as long as you want. So just for purposes here, I'm going to say, okay, this is going to be my dragon. I've already done a head, and I'm going to staple it like this. Watch. It's kind of awkward to do it in the air showing you, but I'll stick a staple in there and then show you. See, it's awkward to get the staple. The staple's kind of clunky to get in there. Whoops. So if you have a smaller stapler like this, it's better because you can get the small stapler to get in there. With the big stapler, it's hard. And if you have strips these are thinner strips, you can make wider strips, and it'll be easier to get the stapler involved. If you use wider strips, you can have a different outlook. But in this case, I have a small stapler. I'm going to sneak it in. See what I'm doing? All right, so stapler, you could glue it too if you don't have a stapler. So here we are. Here's our little monster. Head and tail, and then the body is expandable in the middle. All right, and then I did wings. So you can add wings. So the wings would be in about the middle here. I just cut a slit there so I can slide it right in. That. I can glue that. You know, you don't have to do anything I'm showing you. Use your imagination. The main thing is do this little fold part, and you can make them as long as you want. Now, once you have them, I'm going to set this guy over here. See that all right? Whoops, it's sliding down. Anyway, you can do various things. I did I don't know how many you remember. If you looked around the art room, you might have seen something like this. It's a ballet dancer with a tutu. Hold on. See that? I have one hanging in the art room in St. Joseph's. But you could use your imagination. You could make something like that, or it could be a bracelet. You can wear that around your wrist. It's hard to join the two ends together, but you can do it with stapler or glue. So this tutu's a little bit oversized. Keeps sliding off. I wanted to get her to stay in there. I should like staple it so it would stay just right. So that's another thing you can do, something like that. All right. So again, start with strips. You can make 3 or 4 or 5 long, but it's harder to flip them over because it's long. But just so I can show you. Always fold the one on the bottom over onto the top. Just go on and on and on. And once you have your accordion folds, then you can add whatever you want. Add wings, add heads, tails, make them into a dragon, dancers, or just make a chain. See, this one I put 3 strips together, so it's going to be quite a bit of length to this. If you just do a couple, it doesn't get very long, but the more you do, the more you can expand it. It's just a little something. It's easy to do once you get the hang of it. And you get to the end, because it never comes out exactly even, so you just fold it off, cut out the end, staple that or glue that, and you get an expanding accordion. Throw a staple in there. So my main thing I wanted to get across today was to be creative, because since we're all stuck in and can't get together with our friends and our, other family other than your own family at home, it's good to just think differently. You have to think differently and like, okay, what is the universe? What is God doing for us or with us? And what can we take from this experience? What can we do to make this experience something that we can not look back on it with disregard and I didn't learn anything and it just was all bad. It's not all bad. It's pretty bad, but if we can learn to adjust. My wife is going to have her knee replaced, so she's thinking, okay, the golden eagle's spirit is saying, close doors. Okay, close the door on limping around and being in pain, get the knee replaced, and then maybe she'll retire. She's ready to retire soon, so she might do that. So we're thinking in those terms. I'm not looking to retire, but I'm looking, how are we going to teach in the fall? We're going to teach, but it can't be necessarily just like before until they get a vaccine. So we might have to do different things and have the schedule change and less people per day, and who knows how they're going to work it out. But I'm open to working with that. So that's my lesson for today for myself, and maybe you can take that as for yourself too. Here. Mary was drifting up out of the top of the screen there. So that's all I have for today. I just wanted you to share with you what I'm going through too. This isn't just something that is happening elsewhere. It's happening for everybody. So I'm hopeful that some of this thought process you can incorporate and maybe you know, make this whole experience more valuable than it has been so far. Maybe you'll see an eagle. Maybe you'll see a fox. Maybe you'll see the Mary, Holy Mary, Mother of God. Maybe you'll have a vision. Who knows? You never know. Miracles happen. So, speaking of Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for sinners now and at the hour of our death. And all the best to everybody. And I'm going to end recording at some point. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to stop recording. Have a good week. I love you guys and girls. Bye.